everybody. Good morning and happy Saturday, even though it is, well, it's smoky out there. So, today we're going to talk about the September market update as we roll into the middle of the month. How are we doing? How is that playing out? We're also going to do a little Q&A. We had some really good questions from some of our clients and some of the folks out in the internet world asking us some questions that we will go over today. We picked the top 3 that seem to be the most relevant, at least at this point in time. So if you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe. That way you get an update as to when we do our Saturday videos, which, well, happen almost every Saturday. And if you get a chance, share the link so that other people can get the information. Look, it's free. It's real-time market information, so you can make really the best business decision for you and your family. So let's get on with this. Let's talk about September. Again, we're going to go over month over month and year over year, okay? So month over month inventory, number of homes completely for sale is actually up 5.1%, which is really good. New on market is actually up basically 27%. And to all the sellers that came on the market, thank you, because we needed it. We're desperate. We're only at 0.9 months of inventory, 0.8 months of inventory. A healthy market is 4 to 6 months. We're way down here. So if you're on the fence and you're looking at, hey, should I sell my home or not? Absolutely, it is the best time in my history of practicing for over 27 years. Without a doubt, this is the golden opportunity for you to get the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the fewest hassles. So, just saying. When we take a look at year over year, our inventory is still down 43%. And month or year over year, we're down 7.2% as far as total homes coming on market. Now, again, to be clear, once we get past the kind of the mid-September-ish, our market hits what I would consider our second best market. And it goes from mid to late September all the way through December, mid-December. That is our next key market. Our first one naturally being our spring market, which is the latter part of February, which rolls all the way to about mid-May. And then, of course, it dies down, vacations, schools, things like that. This year's been a little bit different, but still that's our trend. And we are still looking with that form of trend as we have seen our new on markets come increase, at least over since kids have kind of settled out and gotten into school, families have settled out, last minute vacations and whatnot. Okay, pendants are down month over month, but year over year, we're 2% above. That's amazing. When you think about it, we have almost half the inventory, but yet our pendant, meaning when a buyer and a seller agree to terms, they are a pending status. Now, granted, they have financing, they have an inspection, they got title, they have a few things that they need to button up, okay? But still, year over year. Last year, we didn't have a pandemic. Last year, we didn't stay home. But this year, we did. And we're actually up 2%. Solds month over month is up 17%. Now, let's also be clear. August, like July, there were more residential homes sold than there was active inventory available. First time ever. So September is really looking like it's going to be a three-peat. That to me is just staggering, okay? Because when we come over here, we're only down 5.3% year over year. Well, you might remember we were in the double digits in January and February and March and April. We didn't hit until probably closer to May. Boop, we dropped below, the 10% less homes sold year over year. But now think of this. We're only 5.3% off last year with half the inventory. That is amazing. Now, When I grab my super fancy chart, put my finger here, there we go. Again, the dark green, number of homes sold. Light green, that's homes available. So July and August, which is shocking, sold more homes than there were homes available. In fact, when we come over here, total homes available in 2020, as of today, we have 8,014 total homes available. Last year at the same time, there were 14,214 homes available. That's incredible, because normally if we have a bar and the solds are here, normally the active inventory is up here, okay? Just like what we show on this side. If you see these, the light green again is active and sold. So last year you had a 56% chance of selling your house. That is based on the number of homes available versus the number of homes that sold. Today, we were kind of laughing about it during our staff meeting. It's 109%. You have a 100% chance of selling your home as long as you're priced right. There's no sentimental equity. You're not thinking illusions of grandeur. If your home is priced right, your home will sell within the first 7 to 10 days, which is spot on. Now, what's even more amazing? So last year at this time, average days on market for the Northwest MLS. And again, that's from Bellingham all the way down to the Tri-Cities, and including, Wenatchee and Chelan areas and whatnot. Okay, understand, last year, average days on market was 33 days. Today, it's 26. That's a big deal. That's 7 days. Holy smokes. And, well, technically, we still have a pandemic we're dealing with. So, all things considered, again, if you're on the fence, get off, because we need you. Any sellers out there, we need you. What's the old World War II call to action? We need you. We do need you. So get your home on the market, because we have tons of buyers that are looking for that right home. All right. Now, over the last 7 days, we only had 1,000. I only say only because you're going to see here in a second. We had 1,593 homes come on market, which is great. However, we had 2,149 going off market as a pending sale. And then, of course, we closed 1,353. So we're still drawing down that inventory. There are less homes coming on than there are homes going off. And that is a big deal. So again, you didn't get me the first time, get off the fence. We need your house. And then we'll help you find someplace else. All right. Mortgage rates. Mortgage rates, you know what? They've kind of leveled out. We dropped down to 2.5 for a little bit. We kind of bounced it a little bit. For the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we've been at 2.75, which means that we've kind of seen more of a stabilized interest rate. Non-owner occupied. Look, if you're looking at buying an investment property, right there, that does not get any better. That is awesome. Now, these are new home purchase, 20% down. These are not refinance rates. So if you want to get some better numbers, give Dan Golden at Cornerstone a call. We'll post his information. Qualstar Credit Union, speak to Juliana. We'll post her information for you. Okay. Understand, loan guidelines have been tightening up and tightening up and tightening up. We have had some comments that, they're like, George, holy smokes, I got to go through a lot more work to get this. This is taking a little bit longer to get my loan, or the assurances, and they're asking for more information. Yes, and they will. Remember, lending is based on risk, and they are here to mitigate that risk. And so they will be tightening it up and tightening it up and tightening it up. It is a given. We have a transaction now that, anything over 700, and I believe it's 743,000. I think that's conventional conforming guidelines loan balance. They're above that. They had to go through an additional process. Sure, KeyBank was offering them an amazing rate, and I agree with that, but they want the cream of the crop. They want the best of the best of the best, and they'll get it. Why? Because they only want the best. And if you qualify, great, and if you don't, you're in trouble. That's why getting completely underwritten before you start the buying process is hugely important for you. All right, so this is what's going on today. It has been consistent. Yes, we are going to see this through the end of the year. No, I do not see a change. With that, let's take on some of the questions. I think the first one from Robert is really good. He says, George says, I'm in a forbearance program, and do you recommend selling at this time? Okay, Robert, listen, that's a really good business question. There is a lot more to go over than I can on this video, nor would I want to talk about specifically about your personal side of things. Give me a call, let's chat. There's no cost, there's no obligation, but let's go over the options. But before that, here are things for you to consider, kind of a little initial mind map for you to process. The first thing you need to ask yourself is the outcome of my income future going to change over the next 6 months? Is my salary going to increase? Am I going to get reemployed? Am I going to be back to my salary level? Whatever that might be. Is that going to change over the next 6 months? Because if it is not, then considering a sale to protect your family's equity might be the best option. Okay, but again, let's talk about it. Now, during that, your mindset, you also have to consider this. Is it a Freddie Mac loan? Am I a Fannie Mae loan? Am I a USDA, VA, or FHA loan? Each one has their own specific guidelines when it comes to a forbearance program, okay? Because here's the thing. When you look at what we would call bringing your account current, I know that sounds bad and I'm sorry, but to bring your account current, you have to consider a few options. And these are the things you need to consider. Back due interest, okay? You also need to consider your taxes that have been paid on your behalf, but maybe weren't paid because you weren't making, you're in a forbearance, you're not making your payments, and including your insurance. So that number can grow pretty quick. So the question is, do you have the reserves to reinstate that as a lump sum, okay? Or can you monthly add more to your normal scheduled payment to get you caught up? Or does it make sense to consider a refinance and or a loan modification, depending on what your rate is today? So remember, this is new home purchase rates. Refinance rates are typically 25% to a third percent higher, okay? Or what we, quarter of a point, a third of a point, 1 point being 1% higher. So as you're looking at that, does that make sense for you and your family? That is a business decision. Those are things that we can go over. All right. Okay. Moving on. If you have questions about a forbearance, hey, reach out to us. We had information up, and I say had because 4 days after we published all of the information by the big mortgage holders, right? Fannie, Freddie, FHA. They changed, and so we've been playing this game. So we pulled the site down. We will pull it back up. We will get all of the updated information since it again changed as they're considering extending the forbearance program. Which remember, you still owe what is due. So remember that it's not forgiven. You still owe what is due. Question is at what point do you do this? It's not a credit card. All right. Tyrone says, George, how can I be more competitive in today's market? It's a great question. So I wrote down 5 things for you. 5 buyer tips to work in today's multiple offer market. First, increase the opportunities that your family has available. Those would be off-market homes. If you are not seeing off-market homes to consider, you need to give us a call because we have off-market homes. We have quite a few of them. In fact, Fatima asked if we have off-market homes in Bellevue. We're going to go over that momentarily. Look at homes below your price point. A lot of people are maxing out. They're saying, I qualify for $1.3 million. And that's where they're looking. Look, guys, bring it back. Give yourself more room to negotiate with multiple offers. We're seeing escalations again. It's not new. So instead of constantly pushing up against your maximum, pull it back. Pull it back. And then that gives you greater room to negotiate, which also means you could consider a low appraisal contingency. In other words, if you agree to a price at $1 million or $800,000, let's use 800,000. You look at a house at $800,000, and let's say that the appraisal comes in at 780. You can say, hey, you know what, Mr. Seller? I will make up the gap, and you can denote the amount. I'll make up that gap of $20,000 in the event the appraisal comes in low. Okay. You probably had a good idea. That's where your number came from, because we looked at the value and where we felt the appraisal value is versus your escalated offer value, and you're willing to make up that difference. That's giving kind of a sales price guarantee to the seller. Okay. Pre-inspect the home. Yes. Now I understand. You might be inspecting a couple of homes, maybe even a few homes. The difference is that it allows you to go in with more confidence on your offer, to remove that contingency. So you go into it eyes wide open, which allows you to be, again, more competitive to other buyers in the market. Look at an 11-day close. You might be saying, George, what the heck is an 11-day close? It allows you to come in and act as like you are a cash buyer. Dan Golden at Cornerstone Lending, Juliana at Qualstar Credit Union. There's a reason you continue to hear these people, because they not only offer great service, but they offer these unique programs that we help develop so that you can be more attractive, like me. Now, you can be more attractive in the eyes of a seller. Look, if they know that you can close your loan in 11 days, which is the same thing like a cash buyer would do, and it's only subject to an appraisal, that is solid. Okay. Melissa and Kevin, they were highly successful doing this program, and that's what put them above everybody else. They now own an absolutely beautiful home. Congratulations, by the way, guys. All right, let's take a look at the fifth one. The fifth one is probably the most important. Okay. Give the seller what they want. That means whomever you're working with, tell them, hey, I need you to go ask the seller, what do they want? You would think that would common sense, but it's not. We list a lot of homes. Next to never get this question, but you should ask the seller, what do you want? Is a lease back important to you, especially if you're doing an 11-day close? Give them time to pack and to move out and to look for their next home, right? Give them a price guarantee. Come back up here. We have the low appraisal. Okay, that guarantees, that gives them insurance against the price to ensure that the terms that we agreed to are the terms that they're going to close with. That's value. Okay, earnest money released. You might be saying, what? And I'm like, hang on a second. So think about this. If you are fully underwritten, subject to an appraisal, 11-day close as a cash buyer, you've already pre-inspected the home, so you know exactly what to expect. You've prepared that offer based on the condition of the home, knowing upfront what costs, what you need to do as far as maintenance on that home. You get 7 days for an appraisal, 7 business days for an appraisal. Why can't you release the earnest money? Because you know you're already underwritten, your appraisal is cleared, and you know that you're good to go because you've already inspected the home. What's left? The only thing left is to close. You're good to go. So understand, this can put you steps above another buyer as long as your strategy makes sense. You have these safeguards. You've done your homework up front to get you there. Those are ways, Tyrone, that you can be more effective in today's market. To answer your question. All right, let's come back. The magic whiteboard. Okay, Fatima says, you've mentioned something about off-market homes for sale. What are they? And do you have any in Bellevue? Yes, we do. And most agents do not have the ability to, and the systems to attract sellers consistently that say, listen, I would like to sell my house. I want more time to sell my house. I don't want to have to do the traditional updates that the average seller has to do in today's market. And I don't want a bunch of people through my house. I want to keep it confidential. I want to keep it safe. Okay, yes, we have those kinds of people. In Bellevue alone, the team just rolled up a few numbers for me. We have a absolutely beautiful home in the 98005 zip code, 1.1 million, it's 3,000 square feet. One a little bit south of that, 750,000, 1,600 square feet, needs some work. 1.2 million. This is closer to Newcastle, 2,800 square feet. And then an amazing house, newer construction, 7,000 square feet with the view of Lake Sammamish, beautiful view, unobstructed view of Lake Sammamish, 3.3 million. And they're actually looking for a Lake Washington or Lake Sammamish waterfront home between 4 and 5 million. If you are a seller with a $4 or $5 million Lake Washington waterfront home, you need to reach out to me. I got your buyer. All right. With that, we covered all of the elements of the market, what to do as far as a buyer, discuss some of the forbearance items. If you have any questions, post it. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you share the link and click that little bell so that you get alerts of when we are doing our videos so that you can get real-time market updates, because that's what this is. If you have any questions, again, post them. Let us know what they are. We respond typically within 30 to 45 minutes to all questions. And in the meantime, stay safe out there. It's smoky. Stay in home. And you guys have a great day. Take care. Thanks.